Hiya folks, welcome back. It's Will here again for another fight card prediction. We're going to be breaking down the TUF 21 finale from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas as Stephen Wonderboy Thompson faces off against Jake Ellenberger in the main event here. Decent main event, co-main event's okay, anything below that's not particularly great. Looking forward to see Michelle Waterson beat the shit out of Angela Magana. And some other fighters I'm kind of looking forward to seeing. Josh Samman coming off that big knockout of Eddie Gordon. But we're going to get started in this division, and we're going to start off down in the welterweight division. We have George Sullivan, 2-1 in the UFC against Marcel Alexander Jr., 0-2 in the UFC with 2 losses. Sullivan, he beat Mike Rhodes in his debut. Both guys came in short notice. I think he used his experience very well to win that fight. Took Rhodes down, hit him with some shots, and won a very close decision. Second fight went down to Brazil and knocked out Igor Araujo in the first round down there, hit him with some big shots and took him out there. And then he had a step up in competition against Tim Means, where Means at the minute is on a streak, and we'll see him at UFC 189 where I think he beats Matt Brown. He got caught, he pretty much got outclassed in that whole fight, took some big shots in that fight, got taken down, and he got put to sleep with a beautiful submission by Tim Means. But I do like him in this fight against Marcel Alexander Jr. here. Jr., he's kind of got that karate stance. Made the finals of the Ultimate Fighter, Brazil. Lost to the champion Varley Alves. He got knocked out by Gaspard in that fight. And Alves is a decent force in that welterweight division. And it went late on. He gasped badly and he just got put to sleep. Second fight in the UFC, he lost a split decision to Tim Means. Means was always that kind of step above Marcio there, Leo as he calls himself. But I just like George Sullivan in this fight. I think his overall fight experience is going to come in really handy in this one, and he will stop Alexander, I think, later on in the fight. So I'm going to go third round TKO for George Sullivan. Next up, we've got Trevor Smith against Dan Miller. This fight could turn out to be pretty smelly. I think both guys who known to gas a little bit. Trevor Smith especially, I've seen him in Dublin last year against Doane, and that was pretty hard to watch in that card, in all honesty. Got knocked out, he won that fight, got knocked out in November against Cow Magalhaes. Took a big knee in that one and he got taken out. Dan Miller, I don't know why this guy still fights. He's lost 3 of his last 4, with his only win against Ricardo Funch in there, which is not saying much. Faced Jordan Mayen. Did alright in that fight, and then Jordan Mayen just caught him with something and took him out, if I remember off the top of my head. This is a toss-up fight, I have no idea. I might just go for Trevor Smith. I think Miller will come out aggressive and try and take this down and could possibly submit Smith, but I like Smith. Just very close split decision for me. In the middleweight division, we're staying with Cow Magalhaes against Josh Samman. Now this could be a good fight, because I do believe that both these guys will come out and be very aggressive. Magalhaes has got 3, I think he's on a 4-fight win streak. He lost to Buddy Roberts, he beat Vemola, Nick Ring was in there, he beat Trevor Smith last time. I can't remember who the other guy is off the top of my head, but he knocked him out with a lovely knee and followed up with some punches. A very aggressive fighter, and I think this is why it'll be a good match against Samman. Samman has got some wrestling to him, but he likes to stand and strike, and he's coming off an absolute one of the best KOs we've seen in a long time over Eddie Gordon. Eddie Gordon was coming forward, threw a huge wheel kick and knocked him out one shot, and I think he had some hard times. I think he lost his girlfriend, so it was great to see something like that. I'm a big fan. I'm actually a fan of the man of Eddie Gordon. I think Eddie Gordon's a great man to meet. I spent some time with him in Dublin, but you couldn't take that win away from Josh Samman. So I'm looking forward to this fight. I don't think it'll go all 3 rounds, and I think it's another close one. This, I like Josh Samman. I think he can, once Magalhaes' kind of aggression wears out, I think Samman can take over and win this fight. So I'm going to go Josh Samman via TKO very late in the second round. Next up, we've got Maximo Blanco against Mike Delatorre. Really looking forward to seeing Mike Delatorre. Watched his fight with Thiago Trator. The last few days I actually watched, and he unloaded some big left hooks on Trator, knocked him down, and then started unloading with huge right hands. But in that fight he got clinched, put against the cage, used some nice underhooks to manoeuvre himself out, and then when on the release he just hit some really nice left hooks onto Toa, and he went down, and Delatorre was all over him. Maximo Blanco, he beat Daniel Hooker last time out, and before that he beat Andy Ogle. He dominated Ogle, to be honest with you, and then he kind of put a beating on Daniel Hooker, who keeps on coming forward and never gave up in that fight. But with Blanco, you just never know what's going to happen with this guy. He could get DQ'd for something fucking stupid, or he'll do something ridiculously bad. So I like Delatorre in this fight. I think he could possibly finish it. I like a decision victory for Delatorre, but if I'm looking at a finish, I'm looking at Delatorre. But I'll go Mike Delatorre for a unanimous decision. Flyweight division, we've got Daryl Montagut against Willie Gates. I think both guys were Tashi Palace champions, if I remember right. I could be wrong. Say Montagut, his 2 fights in the UFC are pretty wicked opponents. He got knocked out very early against John Dodson, who can do that. He's got that huge power in that flyweight division. And his second fight, he lost Kyoji Horiguchi, who is probably one of the top 3 guys, maybe 4 guys in that pretty light featherweight division, flyweight division, I should say. He got dominated really badly against Horiguchi. Before that, see that punch, he got hit with a huge right hand, and that was that. Willie Gates, on the other hand, he faced the very tough John Moraga in his debut back last December. A little bit of controversy in that fight because I think he hit a pretty high kick to the upper thigh, which hit Moraga in the balls. Moraga went down, and he started pounding him out. I think he actually maybe went for a submission, and he was pretty close to getting it. And Moraga came back and got the win. But looking forward to this fight. It should be a fast-paced, nice. I think it'll be pretty even on the feet. I think Montagut has maybe got the advantage if it goes to the ground and maybe the overall grappling. So I'm going to go for him to get a decision victory there as well. Bantamweight division, we have Russell Doane against Jared Sanders. Jared Sanders, this is his 3rd fight in the UFC. I think he came down 2 divisions. He lost, he got knocked out by Denis Cedeno, which is not great. And then he faced Pedro Munoz, who he charged in for a takedown, and because he is predominantly a wrestler, and got caught in a choke. Where is Pedro Munoz, by the way? I'd like to actually see that guy fight again. Very exciting fighter. But see, Sanders, I think he comes out of the Oklahoma State wrestling program. I think he still teaches there a little bit as well. But he's against Russell Doane here, who's another fighter I'm actually looking forward to watching. He's coming off a loss to Yuri Alcantara, a pretty well-rounded fighter with some decent strikes. He's got a really nice jab. He's got 2 wins in the UFC over Leandro Issa and Marcus Brimage. Before that loss to Yuri Alcantara. I like Doane. I think he's a step above Sanders. I don't think Sanders is really UFC caliber. So I think Russell Doane could definitely finish Sanders, and I think he will. I think he could do it in the first round as well. So I'm going to go submission for Russell Doane. Next up, we have Michelle Waterson, the Karate Hottie, against Angela Magana. Now, I'm really looking forward to see Angela Magana getting a fucking ass beat here, which is pretty cool because I'm probably going to see Angela Magana get her ass beat, and then a week later I'm going to see Beck Rollins get her ass beat as well. So, looking forward to those 2 ass beatings. Say Michelle Waterson, former Invicta 105 champion. She lost last time out. This is why she's in the UFC. She lost to Haruka Taburcio and got submitted pretty late on in that fight. I think she was in the 3rd round. I think it was late in the 3rd round. She got caught in a guillotine choke and she got put to sleep and she tapped out. Pretty surprised when I seen her getting the call up to the UFC. Before that, she had wins over Yasuko Tamada and some beautiful knees in that win there. And she submitted Jessica Penney, who just fought Joanna Jędrzejczyk as well. I think this is going to be an all-out beat down on Angela Magana, just like the last time she faced anybody credible. She lost to Tisha Torres. Torres lit her up everywhere. She lost to Stephanie Eggink before that. I think she's on a 3-fight losing streak. I just hope she gets her ass beat. So I'm going to go Michelle Waterson via TKO. No, in fact, I'm going to go Michelle Waterson via decision. I think I'm doing a little bit of a injustice there because she is a pretty tough opponent. And say I think there'll be a welterweight fight right before the co-main event here. I think it'll be one from the American Top Team and one from the Black Zillions, so that'll be fun. We should hear that probably in the next week. The co-main event is Jorge Masvidal moving up a division to a fighter who's moving down a division in Cesar Ferrari Mutanti. Mutante, I was a big admirer of this guy when he was back in the Ultimate Fighter, and he's come into the UFC and he's shown some decent stuff, but he's shown he's got an absolute glass chin. And when he was in the middleweight division, CB Dollaway just cleanly knocked him out. Sam Alvey, one shot, he was out. In between those two losses, he beat Andrew Craig by decision, but he was very hesitant in that fight. Didn't really look great in that fight. Took Craig down, pounded him out a little bit, but just kind of rode the decision. Beat Daniel Sarafian via a very close split decision, and he beat Thiago Santos back in the day as well. Jorge Masvidal, he's also coming off a loss. He lost to Iaquinta in that very kind of controversial fashion where Iaquinta called out the crowd, which was very, very funny. I thought Iaquinta won that fight. I thought it was very close, but I just gave it slightly for Al. Masvidal, he's been around for a long time. He's a very decent technical boxer. He's got skills when he goes to the ground. He showed that against Michael Chiesa where he caught him in a Bravo choke. Very close fight here. I've been tempted to go with Masvidal, as I just can't trust Cesar Ferreira. But I just don't know where he's really going to trouble Ferreira, because I don't know whether he's got the power to knock him out. He might have the grappling chops to take him down, but I can see Ferreira getting back up as well. This is the coin toss. I think I'm going to go Mutante, not by a hell of a lot though. And the main event, Jake Ellenberger against Stephen Thompson. Now this is a good fight. Ellenberger, in my opinion, is not back to where he was ages ago. I know he's got that victory, and it was a really nice choke of Josh Koscheck, but it's against Josh Koscheck, who has just become a bag at the minute. People's hitting him and just submitting him very, very easily. He lost to Kelvin Gastelum down in Mexico, I believe, before that fight. He was always against it in that fight, and he got put to sleep via a very nice rear naked choke by Gastelum. Lost to Robbie Lawler, got knocked out in that one, and he lost to Rhoda McDonald before that. Wonderboy, he's got this really great style that you just love to watch. That kind of karate style. He had that beautiful introduction to the UFC with his knockout of Dan Stitkin. His only losses to Matt Brown in that second fight in his UFC debut, which is a hard fight to take considering where you see Matt Brown nowadays. But since then, he's come on leaps and bounds. He's in a 4-fight win streak. Beat Nishon Burrell. Knocked out Chris Clements in the second. A beautiful knockout of Robert Whittaker. And we all know what Robert Whittaker is doing in the middleweight division now. And he beat the grizzled veteran and Patrick Cote here. I just think that Wonderboy is going to use his jab. He's going to use his reach. And he's going to get in and out before Ellenberger even gets close. Can I see a finish in this fight? I can't see it. Maybe late on in the fight if Ellenberger tires down. But I like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I like him. I'm going to go decision. I don't think it'll be a stoppage. So that's my picks for the TUF 21 finale. I'm going to film the UFC Fight Night San Diego later on tonight with the main events Frank Mir against Todd Duffy. So keep your eye out for that. I've got my UFC 189 predictions. Aldo McGregor's on there. But I have made a little video with Mendes and McGregor if you want to go and watch that as well. So come check out my videos. I'll be back later on for UFC Fight Night San Diego, and take care.